Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, the ruler of the underworld, and today we're talking about the most evil creature in existence. And that creature, of course, being Muller. Now, I know a lot of you people are saying, how is a store the most evil creature in existence? Well, that answer is actually very simple. You see, it's because I spent an entire month of September searching for Lego Sonic vs. Eggman set. And no, no, what you're saying is spending an entire month looking for one set that really that evil. Well, no, so it will not be. The issue is that this set was supposed to already come out in August, and I only got it on the 1st of October. Mean I was searching for a set that only came out in October 2 fucking months for no fucking reason. Do you have any idea how? Wait, 1 second. Someone's contacting me. Toto, I'm busy right now. I don't have time for whatever governmental issues the underworld is facing this hour. Wait, you telling me we're not talking about Muller the store? We're talking about Dr. Muller from Eden Zero? Really him? Eden Zero season 2 ended, so that's why we're talking about him. Okay, I get it. Well, my apologies for this mistake. Greetings, models. I'm Nate. Today we're talking about mostly the most of this the biggest punching bag of Ian Zero, Doctor Muller. Yes, Doctor Muller. This very genius got this evil bastard. I think Doctor. I don't know if it was ever stated that it was ever confirmed if there was some inspiration from Doctor Robotnik on Mueller, because like some of those guys, like sometimes the inspiration for some guys is kind of interesting because sometimes the writer will directly say they were inspired by something, but then in other cases it's gonna be like a pure accident. Like I believe, I believe it was Shoto and Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think it was like an accident. Like Hikoshi did not know of Avatar: The Last Airbender and didn't know about Zuko. Yet he made a character that's very similar to Zuko by pure accident. I mean, yeah, some people are not believing it, but I remember a popular series does not mean people are gonna read or watch it. Like it doesn't. So I would believe it if it was a similar situation where Dr. Robotnik and Mueller similarities pure accident. I mean, they're not even big ones. It's just like they are similar, small similar. It's like small pieces of says that kind of like connected to being both very arrogant scientists, but being very over the top comical. So yeah, Mueller. He's a okay, for a guy who is not that big of a threat in Ox, he's actually a really relevant antagonistic force. Not combat wise, no. Like again, basically every fight he is in, he loses very easily. It's just kind of interesting how, despite that, he's actually pretty. He has impact. Like as a villain, when you make right villains and you want to make great ones, when it comes to like impact or like moments to shine, Muller is actually pretty up there. But we'll get into it while we give him a little biography, like who is Dr. Muller. So we meet Dr. Muller first in, fine enough, also that chronologically, well, what we've seen from Dr. Mueller first time, which is also a flashback kind of the situation, which is kind of funny that we get him first in a flashback, but he's not like many characters get introduced in flashback, but they don't become relevant later. But here we do have him become relevant. We get him introduced in Hermit's flashback, and the first time we get to see him, it's kind of like that. Like One Piece, where I have like flashback characters who have like a certain like little goofy aspect to their designs. But it's supposed to make you relate to them. Oh, look at his hair. It's so weirdly shaped. Like, how do you even get it? Like, all those type of situations. And yeah, it's kind of similar where he has like a bit more of, like an interesting like little chin. Like, he has like a very sharp head. but then like the chin's like a little extra big. So yeah, we have that with him, but and you first thought, oh, he's gonna be like a kind scientist, but I mean, I don't know if this was like, I don't know what people's thoughts were in the time, but let's just say that little like kind old scientist wanting to make a world better with Hermit was deception. Like his real plan was to destroy a planet so he could remove like a certain threat or certain robots, but and then blame it all on robots. All of the rights of them would be taken away, I believe, and then so he could like experiment them to his heart's content because they don't have any rights. At least that's, if I remember correctly, that was his scheme. I think in the anime and I think in the anime and the manga there are like few small changes to it. Like I believe in the manga, he's more deceptive, while he's like straight up what he explains what his scheme was. While in the anime, at least in the English dub, it was like, oh no, you were using us for your evil plan to destroy things. How could you, Hermit? How could you? I guess we're going to have to dissect you now. Like, it's kind of like on the. I think there was like a bit of a change there, but regardless, he uses Hermit for that, and he betrays her, and then uses her as like an experimental lab rat that he abuses a lot. And we find out from other scientists that are also who are hired by him to help his research that he does that a lot. Like he will get a robot and then he'll like beat it up to a point of breaking. So when a robot or android stops working, he will basically be one of the reasons why. It's not even like the research itself. Like the things they're doing on them was deadly enough, but Muller puts an extra level, and Hermit, being the superior android to a lot of them, was able to last a lot longer. Even if her lower body was completely ripped in half, fans getting punched completely and mentally broken, she was still superior to everyone else. So Mueller, was evil, sadistic bastard. Now somehow I don't think it's actually ever straight up said how. I'm assuming that maybe one of the scientists may have actually got like a bit of a conscience. Like don't get me wrong, those scientists that were there were also evil and bad. Like one guy was actually encouraging to put him in a worse position, and they were more like like it was kind of like one of those. Okay, we are evil bags as well, but you're kind of just annoying, kind of like, oh my god, you even for us, you're a bit more over the top than you really should be. But maybe like one leaked that, or maybe one didn't like Mueller or something. But regardless, it was fine though what Mueller was doing with his experiments on robots and all that. And the Interstellar Union Army had to respond, and they did, and they arrested him. Like Noah was actually during the arrest, he was actually screaming that he want that to stay away from her so he can torture her even more. But regardless, they found out and they arrested him and threw him in the clank. Now, because he is a flashback character who didn't die in the flashback, he brought an open door for his return. And that's what happened in the Forrester arc that was animated this season, where he came back when he was returned in his new interesting form where he kind of got like a bit more of a redesign where his hat also like changed shape a bit. Which, to be fair, was actually something that also happened in the in the flashback where his hat just suddenly became really round. I guess the grinning caused his skull shape to change a bit or something. But regardless, he came back in it as a OTAC. Like he said that he broke out of prison because he was a scientist, so he probably got some like small piece of tech and all that. Used that to escape, but he also took a part of him. I'm assuming this taking part of him was probably like very small pieces, like maybe he took his arm or something, and then slowly but surely he started using different technology to like fix himself. I'm assuming it's like you first gotta replace your arm with a robotic arm, but then you're like, this robotic arm is a lot more useful for Muller. And then he decided to, alright, time for another robotic army, but even more useful. And oh, these legs are annoying, let's replace them. So Mueller kind of made himself an android, which is fine because he doesn't like androids or robots or anything. So, it's kind of like one of those, he's a scientist, but while he doesn't like beings made of science, he himself does recognize it. So it's kind of a bit ironic that he transform himself into a cyborg and all that, even though he hates everyone else like that. Well, androids and like Hermit and everyone else. Like he doesn't even think that robots have emotions. He doesn't even think they have that. Like regardless of how humanoid Hermit may look, he doesn't believe that she has it. So yeah, he's slow. Like he was upgrading himself, and then no, the one thing that I guess he also has a lot of arrogance and I guess you could kind of say stupidity, because when he escaped and fixed his body, he realized that he found out that all of the families that were supporting his royal labs, which is something that was. I feel like I don't think this is the same labs that we see in Universe Zero. Spoilers for the manga, of course, because I think that was like based on Sakura. Wait, was it Sakura? Okay, it was in the first Cosmos basically, and that's where Mola was first stationed. So I think it's just like a generic royalty and possibly a hint to the future. But regardless, people found out about it. So, and when people found out about that, that was like regardless if they knew about what his research was, and they were just playing dumb to it, do it beforehand until they had to respond, or if they knew, or if they were completely in the dark. Regardless of which one of those parties they were, immediately when it was discovered, all his class and all that, all those families like took away their money, took their money back from this side from Mola because there's actually a very funny scene in the story where Muller explains this to Hermit and Wise, and he's like, "Well, how dare they those people take away their funds for my research? Do they not see how much this would benefit everyone?" But Hermit is just like, "Of course they would." Like, because again, like, even if you're a scumbag who knew what Muller was doing, or you were oblivious, you would take your money back because it looks worse. Everyone probably was like, "Oh, we apologize for our deeds in helping this evil, evil, evil man, and we will be dedicating all the money we've taken back to the charity funds and all those for the robots that are suffering, and to." Actually, I think all the robots that were with Muller were killed, so it's kind they couldn't do that. But like some kind of charity drive, like regardless of which one of the criminal or not, you were going to have done that. But Muller does not see it that way. He thinks my science will have out humanity, so they should have keep funding me. And because of his insanity, let's be fair here, or criminality, he went to one of the founders, which was the Ruforian family, aka Gene and Clean's family, and he killed their parents and then used them as experiments. Which now makes me think that's what he did with a lot of these families that founded him. He most likely killed them. Actually, I think he straight up says in the volume that he killed them, and then he replaced them with and then he replaced their children's bodies with it, which is the reason why Jean is an otak and Clean had no emotions. uh, so yeah, this guy is a sick fucking bastard. And in Foresta, he teamed up with Ziggy to make a virus. Well, I don't know if he made. I think he did make the virus. Maybe I'm confusing. Yeah, he probably made the virus to send to robots on Foresta, so they would start attacking and enslaving their human companions, and have a bit of a like conquest kind of situation, which was a big problem since in an empire like Universe 2's Neo Empire was. Suddenly, a bunch of robots conquering that will be a problem that would have to be exterminated and taken care of. And yeah, Ziggy's group and the Neo forces, as well as the Interstellar Army, which was not really done, that got caught in the middle of that conquest or got in there. And while no one except even then Zero's forces actually meets Muller, it still shows how much of a dangerous effect he has. And now let's get into his like proper introduction, which is uh, this kind of hint, which is I think really like directly hinted at. I don't believe there's like a cap. There's only one side I could think of, but he's revealed to be there, and he is revealed to be there. Somehow it triggers some kind of attack by Clean, like some kind of panic attack. I'm not sure if this is like ever really explained. Like, does he like did he like let out his signal, or does he have like signals placed in some of the mentally damaged victims of his? I don't really know, but Clean gets affected. She gets a panic attack, so Jin has to take her back to Eden Zero. And then we have the altercation between Hermit and Wise. Hermit is still traumatized for him, similar to Clean. So she is helpless at the beginning, and he paralyzes Wise, leaving her immobile. But an interesting thing about Muller paralyzed Wise is the fact that Muller does recognize him, like, wait, you're Professor Wise! But that makes no sense! You should be a lot older than this! Since, I mean, I don't know, I don't think it was ever confirmed. I don't think Muller says that he worked or he went to the same school as Wise. I think he's just like someone he knew because, how revolutionary old Wise was and all the things he did, uh, despite the fact that about he was, even though he was like taking do a lot less than he could have. Like Muller straight up calls him crazy, or yeah, I think he just calls him crazy or mad for not using the research that he made or publicize the research that he made. And that has kind of like Muller's inferiority complex trigger, like, how dare someone get recognized better than me? So, but the thing about Muller is, despite him being crazy and insane and talking like a buffoon, like especially in Universe Zero, the guy actually is intelligent, so he's like able to think about very quickly. Wait, this looks like Wise, but he's younger. Is he his son? No, he's a bachelor, so he will not have a son. His home planet, Professor Wise's old planet, was recently was not long ago attacked by Chronosphere. This is old. This is yes. This is just what this is. This Wise, as he was as the mind of the future, uh, Professor Wise. Like this is just him younger. I mean, granted, it's not one correct because Wise time travel, blah blah blah, all that type of stuff. But for someone who's just guessing by the information in front of him, he was guessing correctly. So despite Muller being Muller, he is able to at least like get the general right. Like he at least threw his theory out there and he got and hit it on the target, not straight in the middle, but close enough. So yeah, he kind of wants to experiment with Wise's brain so he could make himself smile or something. Honestly, I feel like he would probably just make himself crazy or anything else. But yeah, they had a little fight, and Wise is able to like get Arsenal to move him, even though he himself is paralyzed, so he could, fight go up against Muller. And Muller is semi able to fight him off. Like, I mean, I would definitely say he had an advantage because he didn't have the same like restriction as Wise had, and Hermit was mentally out of it up until like the very ending. But Muller still was not really being in a good situation, especially since he even kind of recognized that he was kind of getting beaten or at disadvantage. Although to be fair, he just like he was in pure rage. So he activated the self-destruct button on 4-star, but fortunately he was beaten before he could play out. So because Laguna showed up and Wise like ripped him in half, so the water in the wires in between fry a bit, and then Wise used Laguna to stand him closer to Muller so he could blow him up. Well, at least his entire torso area. So yeah, he remained basically just a hat. And when the hermit was shutting down, Muller revealed that he was still alive. He was just like, it's okay. This is a little weird thing because Muller apparently had all of his organs and everything like just in the top of his head, like just this, like no neck, like up neck bottom. Like I mean, I don't really know the logic of this. I mean, this has been used in fiction a lot of times where someone gets ripped so much that only their hat remains. That somehow they apparently do not need a heart or anything. Just a hat would be enough. Like even the bodies they have are usually like so small. There's no way there could be anything keeping them alive from a heart perspective. But Mueller somehow did the same thing, and it's just a hat, and he also had like tiny little hands, like very pathetic wise. But regardless, Mueller reveals that he's alive, and he's like begging him, "Please, Herman, humans are trash. I see it now. Please save me." Like clearly not seeing anything. Like he's clearly just trying to get on her good graces to like escape. And Herman, well, as she is regaining her composure and is now focused on stopping him, just walks to him, grabs Mueller, does a little like deception play to for him to look at her, for her to get his retinal scans from the eyes, and then while Mueller tries to again like squeeze away. Oh, good, happy to see I could help. Yes, now let's go. But Emmet is like, no, as she just punches him in the face and sends him to the ground to just like knock him out. Like, I mean, the guy really was overestimating his chances there. Like, if he really like, the guy was really being an idiot. Yet, let's be sure. So, like, why would you think that would work? Like, just because you took your rectal scan, you think like again, I think this is like him being a well, let's be honest, a racist towards robots and thinking that these these naive robots, they'll save me totally. Oh, they'll not be like straight up one of those, and then but he was wrong and he got punched and. I mean, I don't think it was that. Like, we don't see him like getting straight up blown up. But I think we can make a pretty good assumption that he blew up there. Wise says that he blew up. He doesn't come back properly in the story, so he probably got blown up. So yeah, that's how Mueller and Universe 2. But then, now spoiler warning for the future for Universe 0 that we might just end season 3 on. Well, not end the story, just like transition to Universe 0. But spoilers for the most recent chapters in the manga. In Universe Zero, when they went into Aya Cosmos, they found out that Zenolith, the gravity user that Shiki met in the Forest arc, was apparently a member of the Eden's One's evil group, or the New Galactica or Seals, and they was a bit like insecure on what is going on. In fact, Shora and Ocean Six, or Shora, his buddies and his babysitters, let's be honest, ourselves, heard rumors that Xanolith was on the planet where Ocean's, Laguna and his groups were staying in, so he went there to get rid of them. But but surprisingly, it's found out that it's not Xanolith who is the one who destroyed Forest and all that, because Zenolith transported his consciousness into Mimi, the little robot that was in season 2 that was friends with the other little girl. Kind of again foreshadowing what things are gonna come in the future. And there, he reveals that the one who actually is responsible for the destruction of Forrester and the one using his body and his gravity for and all that is Mueller. And there's even like a little joke in there that at the end of the chapter where Hermit is like, where he like, we cut to him and he's like, yay! Is that a smile, thumbs up? Well, I don't think he had a thumbs up, but he has like a very smile. As it's like, he's in this universe too, because in Universe Zero, there's kind of like a little question if he was. Like, they mentioned that maybe some people in Universe Zero would not exist in previous universes, like complete like reset. So people maybe thought that like Mueller wasn't actually gonna be alive since Herman's flashback, like things that happened in Herman's flashback that we got happened, but well, the events were similar, but there was no Mueller, and the scientists were actually good, and they actually what they wanted to work with Hermit on actually went. So she did not have the traumatic experience. Similar to Jean and Clean, like the reason why Jean is an OTAC in Universe Zero is because medical researchers and Jean volunteered himself to for them. And the reason why he ended up with Drac and all that was not because of some evil accident. It was just like, oh yeah, we got lost. We were traveling here, and we kind of had no way. well, no place to go, so we just kind of teamed up with Draken. So yeah, it's kind of a that situation. So yeah, there was like some bit of ambiguity, but the reason why was because he was in our cosmos, nowhere else. Which again, you can kind of say that he was in our cosmos before, and since I do believe Jin and Clean are from our cosmos originally, but regardless, it's revealed that Muller is in universe the our cosmos. And then Xenolef reveals that Mueller, similar to Universe 2 Mueller, or was it Universe? Yeah, I think it was Universe 2. Universe 2 Mueller, he created the virus, the same virus that was used on Forrestal. And Xenolef was able to figure it out and went to confront him. And then we get a bit of our introduction to him, but if Universe Zero Muller is even crazier. Like previously, he at least like could sound somewhat reasonable. Like he had weird quirks in speech. Like he talked about like he was at revenge, but then he would go REVG kind of thing. Like you go into like anagrams. But in this one, he's like completely like talking crazy. Like Xanilave will come to him, talk to him, and then the guy will be like, "Who is this? A little robot with a green cape talking to me? What is going on?" Like he's kind of very even crazier. Or then he'll go into like a conversation explaining Eden avoids plan and all that. Be like, once the world is truly filled with ones and zeros because dark stars across its galactica. We have 6 plus 10. Well, 6 plus 4 equals 10. Then there is Eden's 1, void, 0 has nothing in it. Like so, it's kind of zero. So it's like ones and zeros. So the world is filled with it. Again, he's like crazier than ever, which it gets you wondering how Universe Zero's Muller was able to get into any position, any kind of scientist, because in previous worlds you could at least see where it started, but this one is like so crazy that you have to question. There's actually a very funny joke with him where Shora is like, when he gets told everything here, he's like, "Who the fuck even hired that guy?" But then we cut to Fabiano, I believe is the guy is the oldest member of the Ocean Six, who's like, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit," like he's like sweating all over him. Oh, should I hire them? Which admittedly, sure, it does have a point. Like, who would actually hear him and think, "Yeah, this guy is completely not off his records." Like, I mean, I know the point of that arc, that moment, all that was to show that Shura is very immature, very unfit to be the leader. Like this is the reason why Oceans, no, not Oceans, the Oasis rebelled against Shura because they saw him as nothing more than a snot nosed brat. Not because he's a cruel dictator in Universe Zero, he's not like that, like he's in Universe Two, but because it's a fucking brat. Like we're talking about a guy whose elite soldiers look more like his friends, girlfriend, and 2 babysitters. One of which is a grandpa of one of his friends. So you get the idea. Like that's the point. And Muller throughout the arc even says like, "Sure, that's not nose Brad, that useless idiot, that fool." Because in case you're wondering how sure anyone got into the same area is because Mueller revealed that he leaked. Well, it was revealed that Mueller leaked the information of Xenolev. So Shora and his spy would go and kill him and probably get into conflict with the Oasis because of simple logic. So that would kind of like knock like you. So he would distract the Shora and get rid of Xanolev and probably get rid of Oasis, which would be another problem. But I don't think he ever directly says Oasis. Like he wants to eliminate Oasis, but you can kind of make the assumption there. Regardless, his plan goes and he's able to conquer it because that's the reason why he wants to send Shaw away because he'll be able to get the like weapons that they will go use, those ornaments that were revealed in season 2. Again, those things will still build. It's just they will not be planned to be used on. Like Shaw even says, Universe Zero Shaw, like he doesn't want to use them. I mean, I have friends, and one of my friends, his grandpa, is one of them. No robots that's actually I have good relationship with, but I cannot, it's gotta be necessary if every single robot starts killing themselves. Like I cannot have Melina. I believe was her name, kill her grandpa, or one of us killing her grandpa because he went insane. Like, at least that way it will be a peaceful death for everyone. We can at least like put everyone in a coffin, if they make like those kind of things. At least respectful, but so yeah, that's like a problem. And yeah, now more in that time while this whole thing where the Shura and Shiki and all that is going on, actually use that time to come. I believe it was combine his body because in Universe Zero when he was talking to Xenolith, he was still normal human man, and then use the I believe Xenolith's body as well as the some other technology to like combine himself to grant himself gravity ether. So he's like, he has like a really bulky form, but the thing is, his hat's like his hat kind of looks like he just skinned his face off and put it on a robot body because like really outstretched, and his nose like normal still. I think it's actually a bit longer, but yeah, he kind of like a new form, like a really like trying to be super badass, muscular. So we have that situation going on. So we as and while he's preparing his traps and all that and everything, sure, in Eden's one all go to the temple, and Oasis, I believe, as well went to the temple. I'm not entirely certain. And they immediately assures like contacts. Well, as soon as he's in range, he contacts his forces like, dudes, do something! Like, dude, capture Muir! Like, oh, get them! That traitorous bastard! But they explain to him that Muller is nowhere to be found. His lab is empty, and all that type of stuff. Actually, no, I think no, actually, there is communication to get Mueller, but they are not able to because I believe Mueller is messing with the system, with the communication system, and uses all the technology of those ships that are there to blow up against them to destroy them. But Valkyrie uses her, I believe, I don't think she uses Overdrive or Stardress, one of the two, and just destroys them, but Shora and Shiki go like forward to get rid of Mula themselves. But unfortunately for them, because of like some, I guess forgetting that he had his coffee or tea or whatever it was in his hand, he is like, oh, wait a minute, where's my coffee? Why is it on the table like I put it there? Wait, it's my hand? Oh, wait a minute, could this be some kind of messing with time? Because he was thinking about like messing with time because he revealed that using those creations as well as gravity could change. He could travel through time, but he wonders how is that possible. And then he remembers that one of them commented that in the previous world, and then he was like, wait, bounties, okay, they have a gravity user, so they technically could do it just like I could, but they do not have those weapons. So how would, unless if one of them has an ether gear that's able to grant them that ability there. And then he kind of looks at the picture of Rebecca, he's like, this girl, she looks like the saint, that holy saint. She must have, and they are known for their gravity, well, their time manipulation ether gears, which I think has actually been changed because I don't believe they were meant to be having time manipulation ether gears. But regardless, he connects those pieces and like, oh, she must have it. So so Mola, having enough brain cells to change his voice, he talks to Rebecca to bring her to his place, well, to bring her to a trap where he can, capture her so he can get her time ether. And well, this is like one of those plot force kind of stupidity moments for things to happen because during the conversation he has like all breaking the character. Like he talks, but he talks like an old man. So Rebecca's like, Shiki, why are you talking weirdly? I mean, I don't mind you making a jokes with impersonating Ziggy, but why are you impersonating Ziggy right now? But regardless, again, plot-induced stupidity. It works. So Muller is able to capture Rebecca because of it's. I mean, when you were able to do everything in the back, you can do a lot of stuff. And while in the meantime, Shiki and Shura tried to confront him. It turns out the laboratory that he was actually stationed at was actually a decoy and a trap for whoever would enter to blow itself up. So there's like this kind of like very small layer of tension there where like Rebecca is captured and Ziggy, well, Shiki and Shaw are blown up. So when Muller has Rebecca captured, he's like, "Oh my god, I don't want to touch her legs. Her legs most likely have her ether gear, and legs are just filled with bacteria. I know if I cut her legs off, I might be able. It would no longer be a leg; it would just be a part. So I could totally touch it in." So he kind of like mocks it, and we have Rebecca, which this is another thing where I have to question. Like, I get it's supposed to be comical, but it's like really creepy because like he doesn't like just do it quickly. Like he like takes away the legging, I guess, from Rebecca's suit, and then like he mocks it where he's gonna cut them, and he actually goes for the cutting with a chainsaw. Like he actually like there was actual blood. Like there was actual cuts there. Like it's not deep, but it's still there. But fortunately for Rebecca and unfortunately for Muller, it turns out that Happy that was with Rebecca is actually Amira, one of the Orcacoseals Galactica in Universe Zero. She disguised herself as Happy so she could, get close to him. And when she revealed herself to Rebecca, she's like, "Oh, I'm surprised you were able to know me in that detail because this is the first time they meet in Universe Zero." And Amina also reveals that she has leaked the information to the secondary lab to Shora and Shiki as they just break down the door. And while they are destroyed, the closing is destroyed, they do a like, time for some discipline, Muller. And then we have the whole explanation of what's the situation, the trickery, and all that. And even revealing that the ships are getting destroyed because Amina reported it to other people there because the Galaxy's Interstellar was actually, on top of their situation where they knew there was something about Muller to capture him. Because we kind of think that he did have criminal record in the previous Cosmos, but he just like escaped to our Cosmos and then he had no real, background except outside of being a scientist. But regardless, the situation, Muller is like, "Oh, I can still take you all down. I have Xenom's power." But unfortunately to Muller, an untrained warrior, an untrained old man, who uses just super advanced technology and uses ether gear against two actually powerful gravity users who are, I believe, even on raw talent better, are gonna be a little bit more proficient. So they immediately like obliterate him. Like this armor gets like completely shredded. Like he immediately gets like boom, boom, boom. Like they even the initial like gravity push you down thing is only temporary because Shura and Ziki are almost like immediately like, "Oh, we're able to move in it." Like, yeah, you're powerful. It's so he's powerful, but it's like we have more. So they went in and they beat him and cut him in half. It kind of similar way how in Star he was like just a hat, and that's the end. And that's kind of the end of his chronologically. No, so yeah, like we don't know if he was arrested. Was he still alive when his head was cut? Was he destroyed? We don't know. There's like no scene where like maybe Jin shows up and kills him for what he did to them in Universe 1, 2, and I think 3. I think it was 3. Okay, we can say it was in all 3 universes. But regardless, Muller, it's the last time we've seen Muller. No, I do not think this is the end of Muller's character because I do think he is gonna come back, or at the very least, some kind of aspect of him will come back, so Jane could beat him. Since this was something that was actually mentioned before the fight started in the Universe Zero arc, where he mentions that he will not forgive Muller. He will take him down. He's even concerned about Clean being near him because the last time she was near Muller, like not even know it. Like this time she at least knows Muller is there, but and but previously she was not even aware, but she knew his presence and she was getting a panic attack. So he wanted to, he wants to revenge. So I do think Muller will come back in some form of way. There's some theories like maybe his hat snuck aboard Eden's 1 or Eden's 0, and it's kind of like transmitting the location of Eden's 0, or maybe it's gonna be like the fusion of his like body or something like that will be sent to Eden's 1, and then they will use that device that Aknologa uses to create dragons to recreate him, but in like a pure robotic form to go up against Jin. I don't know. I do think he'll come back, and yeah, that's chronologically what the situation is on with Muller. Now, as for overall thoughts on Muller, he to me feels like a very like as a villain, as a major. I would say pretty major. I would say a pretty major and significant villain. I do think he does have the influence and the effects that any one of those villains should have. It's just that a lot of times when it comes to his fights, he's a really big I mean, he's kind of like Bambiata and Milascula and Volnica, who kind of feel like they're just there as like punching bags, like they're in the story just so the characters can beat them down, torture them, basically turn them into corpses, and even beat them on top of that. But Muller isn't quite like that because at least he does stuff. Like at least he's threatened. Like at least he spends these arcs doing malicious shit on top of it. Like it's not like he just has like that hermit backstory, and then and he's a buffoon after that. Like no, he still does shit after Hermit's backstory and another backstory. He still does shit in uh in the arc that he's a threat. Like he still does things. Like he did destroy Forrestar in Universe Zero. It was just like he was using Zan's body at the time. So the guy does shit. The guy is, threatening and intimidating villain. Is that the guy acts like a buffoon half the time in the way how he speaks, and when it comes to actual fights, unless if he has some overwhelming advantage because of the ability or because of his technology, he can really easily be beaten by anyone. So it's like one of those strong, intimidating, but the heroes are just way, way, way better. It's kind of like how in Bleach, Noito and Saya are really intimidating and very powerful, but they went into like their superior forms, like Kenpachi Mayor, respectively. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah, that's my video about Muller. I hope you like this video. I hope you leave a like, subscribe in the comments for more Hell's Inmates videos, and don't forget to leave me your thoughts and opinions on Mueller. Do you think he's a good villain? Do you think he sucks? Just enjoy everything you want. And with that said, I cannot wait to see